All right, greetings everybody, Del Puckett here, and in this video I want to talk about and discuss the idea of understanding the concept of music as a language. Victor Wooten has this awesome TED Talk. Victor Wooten, W-O-O-T-E-N. So go check out his TED Talk and you will be blessed. So if we were to break down any language, you would break it down into its sounds, its alphabet, its words, its phrases, its paragraphs, its story. Well, the same thing in music, right? If we were to break down music, the language of music, into its components, it too also has sounds and words and phrases and paragraphs and stories. So, for example, if I was to play like the D chord or a G chord, we could say that those are musical words or musical statements. We could put two chords together and put like a little groove or a little rhythm, syncopation, right? And so we're making a statement. We are actually communicating a musical statement rather than just playing a chord. We are saying something musically. So I believe if we can really wrap our minds around the concept that music is a language, we can use music to effectively communicate thoughts, ideas, emotions, feelings, whatever, to the listener, to the audience, to the other band members if you're playing in the context of a band, a lot more effectively, I believe. All right, and just like every language has its different dialects. For example, somebody in New York might say the same thing as somebody in Texas, but they sound different. Right? Well, it's the same thing. I might play certain notes, they might sound more jazzy or more bluesy. Somebody else might play the same exact notes and they sound more rock and roll or more country. Right? So everybody's going to have their own unique dialect of music, speak, so to speak. All right, and so every language is going to have inflection. Right? So I can make it sound like a question by raising it. I can say, "Hey, so how you doing?" Right? So you know it's a question, right? Or I could be like stern and angry and say, "What the heck is going on?" You know, and so you know just by the inflection that there's some change in the communication style. Well, it's the same thing with music. I can attack my instrument, play really hard and just downstrokes and bam, 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 bam. And I can convey rage or aggression, right? Or I can play subtlety and just nuance, harmonics and just like subtle little melodies and stuff like that. And I can cause the listener to draw near to listen to soft, intimate passages and stuff like that. And so, just like there's inflection in any language, there's also inflection in music. All right, as you get more and more comfortable with the idea, the concept that music is a language, you become more conversational in your playing. Especially when you're playing with others. You will know when it's your turn to speak. You'll be listening and taking your cues from other band members or other players, right? And so you'll know when it's time to listen. You'll know when it's time to speak. And it kind of creates this conversation, this back and forth, this ebb and flow of musical ideas and musical statements and musical phrases. So if music is a language, and just like in any other language, we use that language to communicate, a lot of communication has to do with listening and responding to what we hear. Okay, so then rather than trying to learn a new lick or a new scale or a new song, I would say it's more important to learn how to speak musically so that you can have a conversation musically with your listeners, right, with those around you. And just like any other language, you're not going to sit there and think, what am I going to say? 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 It's just going to flow fluidly, just off of your tongue as you communicate, right? And so that's what we want to be with our instrument, with our music, right? We want to just flow as fluid and as natural as your native tongue. So embrace the idea that music is a language, break it down into its subcomponents, its sounds, its words, its phrases, its paragraphs, its stories, right? And use the construct of music to communicate, to speak to your listeners. And I guarantee you, you will have more fun, you will be more fulfilled, and you will be more successful as an artist and as a musician if you embrace the idea that music is a language. All right, that's it.